Everybody thinks corn tastes like corn, but there's a huge range of flavors you can pull out of all different types of corn.
Check out this field of corn, brother.
You're gonna find a variety of different shades.
Oh, wow.
That right there is a moonshiner's delight. I was always taught as a kid that moonshining was hard work. And I finally realized it's no harder than farming, but there's a whole lot more money that can be made making liquor than they are punching cows.
All different shades of blue.
It ain't very big. Is that dark enough?
Oh man, that's perfect, Jeff.
This is something you really gotta love what you're doing, or else you're like totally in the wrong field.
If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it.
That's very true. Picking this corn by hand is hard work. I had no idea the amount of effort and sweat equity that goes into harvesting corn. It's hot, it's not pleasant. I have a whole new appreciation for that bag of cracked corn that I get from my farmer now. It's a whole new perspective on where that whiskey comes from. Now that we have all this corn harvested, it's just the beginning, you see, because we still have to shuck all this corn, we have to shell it all, and then we have to grind it all. And then we have to mash it all in. Just processing all of this corn that we have, it's hundreds of pounds. Hold up, Joe. Trying to be a hero.
Oh, Superman. I'm really excited to work with Amanda. She's a great distiller.
Ready?
She's gonna make this red, white, and blue blended whiskey possible for us. Jeff's the real hero.
Jeff, you men are just stubborn. You're all trying to hurt yourselves. Corn is one of my favorite ingredients to use and to drink. I have used all different kinds of heirloom grains. So anytime I get to work with a new type of variety of corn, I'm all about it. The largest quantity we should probably mash in on this still here would be the Bloody Butcher, I'd say. It's got that good oil content, that really butteriness.
I know. I mean,
Safe to do that for the largest portion of the mash because we know how good this is going to be. The white corn, we basically know what that's going to taste like too, but to make this unique, let's do less white corn. And then the experimental, the blue corn, we'll do it on smaller scale. That's completely different for me. So blue corn, it has like a really intense flavor. It almost has like a nuttiness, floral, earthy notes. It's widely different from most other types of corns. It would be super easy to just take all this grain and mash it in together, but what would kind of happen is it would mute the flavors. So our idea is to mash them in and distill each one separately so we can isolate the characteristics of each corn. There's a sweet spot you gotta get it into.
When this thing was made, this was considered a modern farm implement.
The industrial age. When you're blending, you kind of want to start with a base. So the majority of your spirit is that base corn. That gives the overall flavor profile. Bloody Butcher is like buttering your bread and just, it's like a really good taste of corn.
let's get the white going.
Just out of curiosity, what do you get for 50 pounds of this?
We're looking at about $9 a bushel right now.
Yep.
Jeff is a dedicated farmer, and he grows a wide variety of corn. But 50 pounds of corn sells for about $9 on the market today. If we were to take that same 50 pounds of corn and turn it into shine, it's worth nearly $400. Jeff, this white corn is beautiful. It's gonna be a great contrast to our base. Each of these corns have a totally different flavor profile and taste to them. That's how you start to build complexity. And then you have the option to throw in a little bit of something else, which is a wild card, just a little bit at a time. And that really creates a full rounded flavor profile when you're blending.
My neck and my back are screaming, but this is a lot of corn, guys.
Almost there.
Almost there.
Then we start grinding, right?
Yeah. A lot of people use just plain cracked corn, but the way that I like to do it is grind that corn into a fine flour. And the reason being is that it unlocks all of those starches that are inside of the kernels of corn. So we're gonna grind it down to a nice fine flour before we add it to our hot water, so hopefully we get some conversion out of this corn. That looks to be the end of it.
Yep.
Okay.
The main thing we gotta focus on is getting those other two stills down here.
Oh, yeah.
And getting them set up so that we're not behind the 8-ball when Digger gets here. We now have to set up 2 more stills because we're doing 3 separate runs. This is a lot of hard work, but that hard work is gonna go a long way in telling the story of this red, white, and blue whiskey to the people who are gonna be drinking it. Red, white, and blue whiskey. Heck yeah. All right, guys, I think she's about full.
I hope we can get this water heated up before Digger gets here.
Look, to not have at least hot water when the boss man shows up with the ingredients.
You think we're slacking?
Yeah, right?
It's mashing day, and we've just pulled 2 stills out of storage. There's 3 of us. We got 3 different types of corn and 3 different stills.
Woo, Lord have mercy.
Ready for still number 2?
Still number 2. We'll fill this one up and get water heated up for the white corn. And then we'll mash in the barrels with the blue corn.
Digger is actually on his way here now, and he's bringing us the sugar and our special yeast.
Joe, I think you're getting ripe.
Yep, that's about full over here.
Okay.
The idea is to put 1 type of corn in each pot and distill them all separately. That way we get distillate from red corn, white corn, and blue corn, and we can literally compare them throughout the entire process. I don't usually build furnaces while they're lit.
Don't send your hair, darling.
I burned my finger. Just the scale of these pots alone takes a very long time to heat up. So plan is just insulate these pots with some bricks, and that'll trap in all the heat. And it makes sense to me that we do a large majority of our corn is the Bloody Butcher. Secondly, we're gonna do a nice portion of the sweet white corn. And then lastly, that little bit of blue corn that we're fermenting has like a really intense flavor. This is kind of our wild card.
Oh, shoot. The man, the myth, the legend has arrived.
Somebody called for sugar.
Look at all of our hard work.
I mean, we got our red, our white, and our blue.
Blue corn gives you a sweet tamale finish. I don't know what it is about it, but it's like you're eating the dough off a tamale.
It's got that really unique, earthy flavor profile.
You know, these guys, they have put the work in. They've got 3 stills set up. They've got water heated up.
All right, let's get this Bloody Butcher corn in here.
Amanda's got the ratios of corn for the weight of the grain bill figured out, and all that's left for them to put it together.
The white corn.
Our white corn is a super sweet white corn, which is gonna contrast that Bloody Butcher very well, and it's gonna be good to blend. Pretty blue corn. And lastly, that little bit of blue corn, it has like a really intense flavor. None of us have actually ran or worked with this specific kind of corn before, so I'm really interested to see what kind of flavors this brings out.
This yeast is our hammer. It's gonna do the job on this mash. Well, let's pour the powdered gold.
This yellow label yeast, it's a distiller's yeast. It already has the enzymes mixed into it for us. Oh, that cooked up good.
Yeah, it did.
It has all the additives you could possibly need for optimal fermentation.
I'm gonna leave it to y'all to clean
perfect.
up. If you need anything, holler.
Thanks for the sugar.
Man, I love that guy.